All right. Um, so let's give a little bit of some calculator instruction. Where can you find these PDF and CDF functions on the Texas Instruments calculator? So let's look at that first. Now I'm going to be using a calculator emulator, but as you'll see, it looks just like the physical calculator for the most part. So let me go ahead and turn this one on. All right, now in order to get to these functions, we want to go to I think it's the distribution section of the calculator, the distribution functions. So because the lettering is in blue, I need to use the blue second button in conjunction with this vars button. And this gets me to a bunch of functions that are related to distributions. So here, the first function is normal PDF, and the second one is normal CDF. So it's easy to confuse these two, okay, if you haven't been introduced to what each of them does. And you'll notice in addition to having a normal PDF and a normal CDF, there's also a TPDF and a TCDF. There's a chi-squared PDF and a chi-squared CDF. And if we go down a little bit, there's even an F distribution, PDF, and CDF functions. And then there's a few more. Okay, so this is where all the PDF and CDF functions are located. Um, most of the time, we're just going to be needing a CDF function between the two. Now, you'll also see that there's a series of inverse functions. So inverse norm and inverse t, and then it kind of looks like there isn't an inverse chi-squared or an inverse f. Okay. You will be using these inverse functions. You'll learn about them later. But I've written some inverse functions myself. And when I get the opportunity, I'll help you install those on your calculator. As you can see, I've made an inverse f and an inverse chi-squared. Now, for students with older Texas Instruments calculators, I've made an inverse n that will be a little bit more, will be functionally a little easier to use, as well as an inverse t. Um, so in order to get to these ones, once they've been installed, you get to them by hitting the program button. So again, if you're just kind of here on your screen and you hit the program button, there are the programs. But these have to be manually installed. Okay, these are not native. These are ones that I've written. Okay, but again, in order to get to these special distribution functions, you need to get to the distribution menu on the Texas Instruments calculator, and that's found by hitting second and then the vars button. And then that brings you here. Okay, let me show you next how to kind of do the same thing here on the NumWorks calculator. All right, let me know if you have any questions.